All right, what is up, guys? So we are live right now on a few places. All right, wanted to test out this. I know I tested out this little software with Cody the other night on YouTube, and it seemed to go really well. I think guys on the channel are getting a lot of their questions answered. You know, Chris, it's real time. I got Chris from Footbridge Media here with me today. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, Aaron. How about you?
Good, man. You ready for the holidays?
Not at all. I got the tree up. It's about as far as we got. So,
Oh man, you're ahead of me, dude.
yeah.
We're spending a lot of our holidays down in Alabama with the family, so I'm
Okay.
debating. I know I need to put it up for my boy, but I know that I don't want to put it up. You know, I'm gonna do it for you, son. That's what I'm doing it for because we're doing a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
So yeah, wanted to come in here, you know, kind of start this like a live series here because I know a lot of guys have questions about websites for their contractor business. They've got a lot of questions about, you know, what they should do, how can they rank better, you know, what is the expectation as far as the process just with websites. You know, websites are, I think, the biggest asset someone can have for their business. It doesn't matter if you're selling t-shirts or if you're selling services of any kind, plumbing, pressure washing, lawn care, little knickknacks, fidget spinners. The website is where everybody comes back to and is where you're able to collect data to remarket to those people. You're even able to pixel those people if you want to and market to them on Facebook, kind of track them around. What's up, Wild West? In the chat, guys. You know, if you're logged on right now, and if you got a question, ask it right here. You got the main man, Chris, from Footbridge. He'll answer your questions as best he can. Don't
He's
ask
live,
him.
so
Don't ask him no questions about anything you don't know. Like,
yeah.
you know, I mean, I don't know what that might
Astrophysics, that kind
be.
of stuff.
Astrophysics, he's gonna blank.
Yeah.
But if you got questions about, ranking your website, if you currently don't have a website with Footbridge Media, I urge you to go. I've been with you guys for 6 years. I think so at this point. My brother's with you guys. We both rank really well. I mean, if not number one, we're number two, number one, number two, number one, depending on the week in our cities and a bunch of others. I'll show you guys some examples here today of some guys who have been in the game. What's up, Rusty Lasker in the chat, man? How you doing, buddy? So one of the things, and I think one of the reasons that I definitely wanted to partner with you guys on my website, Chris, is just your customer service over there is well known. Like, it's touted. Like, everyone knows that when Footbridge builds a site, they're going to be on point with the customer service. They're going to respond to your emails. Like, I think that's one of the big balls that everyone drops in the website world, if that makes sense. Do you guys hear a lot about that from like other companies, just as far as the communication?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, one of the biggest things, one of the reasons that people come to us is because we've got that rep. We've got folks, for us, our work, all of our work, we've got to earn your business every single day. A lot of other contracting companies or rather marketing companies, they get you on a salesperson gets you on a contract. They don't care. You're in for a year, whether you hate them or love them, you're in for a year. For us, we're working to earn your business every single day. And we care. We're also a small business, so we get it. We understand that, when someone calls in with there's an emergency, they can't get into their email. For a giant company, that's not an emergency. But we try to do what we can because we understand if you, as one of two employees for your business, can't get into your email, that means you don't know what leads are coming in. You don't know what hot lead is going cold right now. So we totally get it. And that's, a big part of, I think, what drives all of us to do what we do is we understand we're not just, pushing companies out there. We're helping small companies, local business owners to take care of their business, take care of their families and their employees' families. So yeah, that's a big driving force of kind of how we've always operated from day one, from when Aaron opened the doors.
Aaron O'Hanlon,
Aaron
right?
O'Hanlon, yes.
Aaron's got to be Irish. He's Irish, right? He's
I mean,
Irish.
last name O'Hanlon,
He got to be, right? So yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things that I've always loved about working with y'all. It feels like a small family. I know you guys have a lot of different genres of sites. From plumbing. You guys are huge in the landscape world, I think. Plumbers. What would you say is your biggest, besides pressure washing,
yeah.
for websites that you build?
I mean, it's a really nice spread overall. I mean, like you said, we've got a little bit of everybody. We've got HVACs, roofers, plumbers, electricians, general contractors, and remodelers. It's a nice, healthy spread, I think, over everybody, and that's helped us out too, because we joke internally that we learn more about tankless hot water heaters and how rust removal works, um, as marketing people, because we just do these things, we write these things, we post these blogs all the time. We create this content and we post this content. We get a really good understanding of those individual niches, and we've got a nice, not huge group, but a nice collective group of that contractor family, that industry, that focus. That we've got a nice variety, but enough to where we can stay on top of what works for everybody.
Sure, sure. That y'all are learning a lot based on like your content building and stuff like
Oh yeah.
that. So I want to address the elephant in the room. I think, and the first thing is, if you're looking for a website and you're looking for a partner in this business, I urge you to get your site done. Call Footbridge Media down in Pensacola, Florida. Everything is done by them. Everything's done here. And they will help you through getting a website. Now, you have to mention the $199 deal straight out of me. All right. You cannot get that anywhere else. Otherwise, you're going to be paying $249 a month. You'll save $600 a year if you mention me and you get your website through me, through Footbridge. So, Chris, let's address the elephant in the room. Now, if I get a site from Footbridge Media, all right, do I own my website? Or if I cancel my service with you guys, do I lose my website? And do I still own my domain?
So the short answer is, if you're a client with us and you've gone past the 90-day money back guarantee that we do offer, if you're a client with us and you surpass that and you decide that you want to take it in-house, you want to go somewhere else for whatever reason, that is your website. That is we've prepared those pages for you, that website build for you. That domain name is yours. We don't hold that hostage. We actually recommend you hold on to that. We don't even want to try to hold it hostage. Yeah, all that stuff is yours. We built it for you, for your business. It does us no good to hold on to a website for a plumber in Poughkeepsie when we're not plumbers in Poughkeepsie. So yeah, that is all your content. We don't hold ownership. We don't threaten. We don't make you pay extra. When you're done and you decide that you're done for whatever reason, we try to be peaceful about it. We let things go. And truth be told, it's the reason why a lot of folks come back. They take it somewhere else. They try to manage it themselves, and they realize, you know what, it's not really working this way, but those guys were really nice, so let's just go back and have them do that again.
I think that's a fear a lot of guys have about paying $199 a month, like a subscription service. The odd thing, to me, I like to just shame these broke thoughts personally, because if you're worried about $200 a month, like you need to you just need to open a hot dog stand or something. Like that's
Right.
what I think personally, because
Or maybe if are you an employee or a business owner? That's a big jump.
right. And a lot of employee thoughts is oh man, it's $199 a month, and that's with my deal. Okay, so it was $249, and so a lot of guys want to, either bounce off the have someone build it route where it's like one big fee, it's like $2,000 or whatever. Now I don't even know if that's going to be done right. I know y'all sites generally, correct me if I'm wrong, are 30 to 50 pages built by you guys out the gate. Is that correct?
Yeah, it really just depends on the number of services you offer. But yeah, we've had some. I think I was actually just working on some writing for a site earlier. I think it was like 35 pages for that one site. So yeah, and that was basically whatever fits your business. We're going to make sure. Now, obviously, we're not going to give you a 500-page website, but we're going to do what makes sense. That's going to be efficient for us and for you to try to rank well.
So on that note, like a guy has 10 services that he offers. You guys will build all of that, all those pages out. Y'all write all the content. They don't have to write anything. Be
Correct.
clear with me on that. Okay,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
y'all write everything, and y'all are optimizing it for SEO, which is a certain way of writing. It's not just throwing pages together and saying what you do. There is a certain way that you need to structure the headers and the keywords and how you're structuring the schema and how this site is laid out, essentially, right? You can't just have, how do I say this? The most niche detailed category on the top menu, right? You need to bring it from broad, and you need to structure those sites on those pages and how they link together from broad to more detailed. Is that a good layman's way of saying it?
Yeah, I think so. There's a basic funnel and there's basic format and structure. Just like building a house, you can have all the right supplies, but you just lean them all up together, it's not going to do anything. We take the right code, the right content, like you said, the right placement for some of those specific terms, and all that together is a big part of it. So you could take a Footbridge website and remix it and move all that stuff around, and it's not going to work as well compared to doing it the right way the first time around.
So that's what I think, that elephant in the room of like, should I just get a guy to do it outright, is like, well, first off, Footbridge has been doing contractor sites since 2004. Okay.
Yeah.
So they didn't just think about last year that they were going to do local contractor, which is a different SEO. It's different SEO for local guys than it is for like a national chain or something like a Coca-Cola website or something like that, because Coca-Cola doesn't have pages for every single convenience store that is holding their product, right? So there's a different way of writing that content. But Blue Collar Entrepreneur says, how much is a new website? If you go through the Lean and Mean Academy, Rusty Lasker just answered that, but if you go through that, it's $199 a month. Now, Chris, what do they get? Give me a broad stroke of what they get for that, because this is what really sold me. And honestly, I'm still paying you guys to run my site, and I send in pages all the time, and that is recommended, right? We'll talk a little bit about project pages and what you guys are going to fulfill on your end of the deal, right? When they send in the info and you guys just build out the page. But what do they get for the $199?
So for the 199, you pay that first month's fee, and it recurs every month after that. First off, we get you up from 0 to 60. We get you up and running. You work with Holly and our onboarding team. She works with you basically to learn about your business. She gets you a design proof, basically a one-page design sample of what that website's going to look like. And then we work with you. We make sure that's something that you like. Once you approve that design, it gets moved forward through our writing and our building process. Again, we take care of all your content needs for you. We get all that content prepared for you. If you want to contribute stuff, feel free. We've got some folks that give us details about their business, so we can flesh out their about page, maybe some specifics about, gum removal or very specific tactics they use, maybe some F9 for rust removal. You give us that information. We build out all that content. We build you the site. We launch the site. So the site's up and running. We're not done. That is, all of that work is really step one in the process. Behind the scenes, we're working on citations, which most people know as having to deal with Google Business Profile, and maybe having your listing on Yelp and places like that. Basically making sure that there are other places on the web aside from your website where your business name is, your phone number, your address if it's applicable, and your website address. Basically making sure that the rest of the internet knows about you and your business. And that's kind of a behind the scenes optimization thing. It also includes our ongoing marketing assistance. We've got our consultants. You can call into them and they can help you out with any questions you have about marketing. In general, it doesn't have to be even just about a website. As a matter of fact, that's kind of what they do, is they work more on expanding your business. So yeah, they can answer questions about how we can help do things on the website, but they can also point you in the right direction of how do I expand my marketing? Maybe I want to do a little bit of social media. Maybe you want to try some paid advertising on Google, some Google ads. They'll help to show you the right path that fits you. Again, their job is to make sure that your business runs well, and that's tailored to your business operations, your budgets, how things really work for you in the real world. And also it includes ongoing changes, ongoing care for that website. So if you've got a new project that you completed that had some really good before and after pictures, send that our way. We add that to the website. Maybe you're expanding your business and you're adding on a new service. Maybe you got some hot water services going now, some power washing and some gum removal, that kind of stuff. Let us know. We can build a new page out on your site for that. If maybe you're expanding your territory, you're working in some newer physical markets and new cities, let us know. We can create new content in the site and add that as well. And that's all on an ongoing basis. There's, obviously, we try to work with you as quickly as we can, as efficiently as we can, but there's no hard, fast limit of, we only will do, 4 projects a year. No, we work with you to try to really build up your business, to build up your website, and to show you the way in general for how your marketing should work. So yeah, that 199 is a mouthful. There's a lot that we offer for the 199 lean and mean deal.
Yeah,
Not even including the review management system there, which I didn't even touch on.
damn, yeah, bird eyes. If guys
Yeah.
would Google bird eye and how much bird eye costs, like just to buy bird eye, like per month, I think bird eye, I think a small package is like $300 a month by itself online. Last time I looked,
Yeah,
it
it's been a minute since I looked as well.
could be less or more now, but that whole package is already included in the 199 with the website thing. So that's been I think the elephant in the room for me, right? Is that some guys think that, oh, well, Footbridge owns your site. And, if you cancel, it's all made up stuff, really. When I found out what it is, I'm going to come out right here. You know how I am. All right. All right. What it is, some of these little tiddlywink web builders at these little events, they're trying to gain business is what they're trying to do. So it's the old, like, I'm the small fish, I'm gonna like shit on the big fish. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they own your site. They can't find anything else wrong, because in a second I'm going to show you a few sites, just a few, because my fingers get tired of typing for all the other ones that are ranking number 1 or top 3 in their major city with a Footbridge website. Okay, I could keep going, and I need like a file, Chris, because I do check up on some of my guys every now and then. And a lot of those guys who are doing what you say, they're sending the project pages, they're getting reviews to their site. They're doing literally what I preach. Just that. Like, you know how somebody says, hey, man, you want to get fit? And you're like, yeah, I want to get fit. And it's like, cool, here's what I need you to do. All right. Nothing simple. Just stop eating so much.
Nah.
Like, just go, go and go to the gym like 3 times a week. First off, you don't even have to, you just show up. You don't even, I don't want you to run 10 miles. I just want you to show up in your gym clothes. Don't do a thing. Show up, hang out, and leave. Right. And I got guys, when I'm telling them, hey, man, I need you to do project pages. I need you, just send the stuff in, because you guys will build the page for them. All they have to do is just fill it out. Attach the little photos from their phone or whatever and fill out where the location was. Nah, ain't gonna do it. And it's like, well, that's why you're not.
Yeah.
That's
it's
why
not like you don't have this in your pocket anyways everywhere you go. So
when you've got a team who's literally going to just build all the pages, Pierce just literally went and he just added parking lot striping to his services. And you guys built a page. He just called you up and was like, hey, I'm adding lot striping. Well, you guys have a lot striping company, so you already know like all the keywords that need to be used.
Yeah, we already know about I just did one recently. Thermoplastic line markings for hot areas. We already know all of these things. So.
You already know all of the terms. So when people are looking for that stuff, and when Google is looking for credibility and relevance, what you just said, whatever you just said, that was a mouthful, is important to know, so that Google will understand. And this is a big, how do I juxtapose this? Because a web builder out there who's doing one-off WordPress builds, that's fine, but he may be building, the church's website, or he's building the Strawberry Festival website, and he's building, the jujitsu gym website. Well, all of these are not contractors. Okay. And all of these do not have the same type of keyword structure that contractors need. So it's one of those things. Do I hit Jared? Nah, bro. Nah, dog. Do I even wash? So that's what I'm trying to put out there. It's hard for a guy like me, right? When I first got started, it's hard to understand what all goes into a web build and what the importance is and the extreme value that you guys offer. Because a new guy who doesn't know anything about websites, he's like, well, I'd rather just pay for it outright. And it's like, oh no, no, you would not. Because here's the thing.
Mistake. You're never done. You're never done with your website.
You'll get a website. Sure, you will. And it may look good for sure, right? You pay $2,000, you'll get a good looking website. But the problem is Google does not like content that is not fresh. So month 6, that website's just sitting. Yeah, it looks good. Month 7, month 8, year 1, year 2, and you haven't touched it, Google's like, these people are dead.
Yep.
And so while I'm over here, or Pierce or Gary Trent out in OKC, or Matt Orzelik out in Fort Walton Beach with a Footbridge site, he's constantly just sending in little project pages, giving Google the signals that we're alive, we're well, and Google's like, okay, these people are active. Let's rank them better. Let's give them a better ranking. Google is going more and more. Expound on this a little, Chris, about how Google is going more and more to and it's smart, staying active in their environment is who they reward, right? With GPB and like some of these other things, they want you to come back. It's kind of like YouTube. If you don't upload, your views start. Google's like, nah, bro, you ain't sitting on that. Hey, you're gonna need to upload, right?
Well,
you're gonna need to partake. They're not just gonna let you continually get views because you uploaded 2 videos. Those views will start tapering off. It's similar with SEO. Expound on that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can never rest on your laurels. If you're the #1 website, for anything, no matter how, if you've been adding content to it every week for 10 years, and then you stop working on it, that just means that gap from first place is just catching up. So you always have to be working, always have to be adding to the site. And we make it simple, with project pages, with, like you said, just on your phone, taking pictures, sending in content into us, those incremental additions over time, those, even you're talking about Google Business Profile, that Google Business Profile, they've been shifting that more to having contractors be hands-on, and they want people to post. They want you to get reviews. They want you to reply to reviews. That activity shows Google that you're there, that you care, and that's a factor in, like you said, in pushing you up in the ranking or maintaining your place in the ranking. A lot of people, they get to that first page and they're happy, but you can't stop working. Then you have to continue working at it, continue building at it. Like I said, if you went to the gym every day for 10 years, you're not done. You didn't finish. You go get a couple triple cheeseburgers, you're going to look like shit again. And in a couple months. So
that's all right. It's my channel. I say that shit all the
time. As long as you're good company, then okay, cool. Yeah. So I mean, you have to continue to work on it. You have to continually build upon it. Otherwise, people are just going to catch up to you. Let alone Google's own ideas about, content is still king. People have been saying that on the internet for the last 15 years, and it feels like that saying will never go away, but it's true.
Well, content now,
presenting that fresh content that people want to interact with, that people want to see anyways.
So it's content, like content was always king, but it's now turned into quality quantity, right? Like new, fresh content. A lot of guys, in the blog world, is the re-optimization of an old blog, right? And so Google it creates a timely effect, but it can give you a bump in the rankings if you create a guide for 2022, right? But guess what? 2023 comes around. You got to go back in and update that blog because Google knows you stamped it with 2022. And you got to go say, hey, this is the guide for 2023. I've done that before. Didn't change shit but the title. But but just to where I wouldn't get, points off from Google in the process of my blog, right? Because here's the thing. I know the value of titling it for that year, right? Because there is value there. Because Google wants to say, hey, this is the most relevant, current, up-to-date thing. But also when you do that, you tie yourself to updating it every single year. You see what I'm saying? So you got to go back in. But here's the thing. If a guy has to be frequent, and that's what Google wants, do you think, and I know the answer, is he going to go home and build out project pages for everything that he doesn't even know what the project page needs? He doesn't know how to build it. And look, I know you're tired. You ain't going to go do it. I know. Just like you ain't gonna go to the gym. It's like ship it off to Holly. They have a portal. This is the cool thing about you guys is you have like a little portal that is very accessible. You guys give them the link and they just have the link and they just fill in the info. You guys take the info they give you and y'all build the page and post the page. So they're not having to build these pages. You guys, again, are writing all the content. You guys are posting it. You guys are making sure, and aren't all the sites hosted on your server? Is that correct?
We'd prefer to. We've used some outside hosting before, but it's one less headache for you. We say, you hold on to your domain name. That's important.
Except for Cody's.
What's that?
Except for Cody's.
Yeah, give us that. No, I mean, you hold on, that's your name. You hold on to that, that's your IP. But as far as the the website itself and all that hosting, yeah, we prefer to, we can take care of that for you. That's one less thing you've got to worry about. Don't pay for web hosting. You pay us for service. Let us do the web hosting for you. And then if it's on our hosting, we know it's going to meet all of our requirements for fast servers. So we know that behind the scenes, that's the one less thing that might be haywire using outside hosting versus our own hosting.
That's one thing that I think Cody ran into a little bit, because we took that site and nearly doubled the revenue. Like, he's got a skin done by you guys and some consulting done, but he's having to move to a new server because just his traffic volume, right?
Yeah.
He was never hosted by you guys. You guys kind of did like a build over the top and made it look slick. But his server was still with another company that's what it was originally, right? And so he's having to move to a dedicated server now to make sure that
ramp up when he's got those.
Yeah, I think he was at tops with everything with that server was like 8 gigs or something. Now it's 64. So
yeah, the next step from there is like they make you have your own rack.
We do that. Yes, I told Cody, I was like, that's what you need.
Yep.
You cannot have the site go down. So you guys don't host Cody's Southeast Softball site. You just did the build on the front end, and the hosting is on a different platform. Which some guys are wondering, why is the site going down? Well, it's because it's hosted elsewhere. It was like a special deal that y'all worked out or something. So he's having to go to another hosting service and going to keep you guys as the builders. So that's awesome. So yeah, the Google, the Rusty says the G.
Plays the G.
That's good. I would say the Gestapo wants the owner to post content directly to Gestapo Maps. Chris, are you able to do this, or is that on them?
That's something, truthfully told, I need to check in with the team on that. We've been in the past doing some of that posting. We started to drop off on that because we actually saw diminished returns. When those posts, Google posts, where it's kind of like their social media feed on maps, for a while that was huge. And it would disappear after a week, and you'd have to constantly be reposting there. We saw some diminished returns. I'll need to check on that. I know in the past we've been able to do that for some clients. One of the hacks has always been, if you've got a special promotion you want to put up, and you add that to your GPB, that sticks around longer and sticks on top compared to just a regular post that can just get buried after a certain amount of time. But if you've got a promotion that's got, an active window before expiration, I know we have done that in the past. And if it's still working, if it's still a viable thing for us to do, for Google, if it's a point of success, then yeah, I would check in. I'll check in with our consultants on that, and Aaron and I probably will talk about that at another one of these events as well. But yeah, I'll definitely check in on that for you to confirm. But I know we have done that in the past. Yeah.
And I remember you guys doing some of that. And then I think when Google hit us with the, hey, it only lasts for 7 days thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like the optimization of that and the power or the juice of the post was only on a timer of 7 days in Google's eyes. Then it was just kind of like, what's the point? Like a guy can kind of do that when he's on site if he wants to. And I know Google posts in the past, like you were saying, was diminishing returns because of that timeliness. Like, it's almost like, are you going to build a blog that like Google is going to delete after 7 days? You're like, I'm not writing 2,000 damn words if they're going to delete the juice to my blog, right? I'm building this blog so that it's a long-term asset. You know what I mean? For me and for my business. So I can write it once and maybe update it a little bit next year, but write it one time and get the benefits forever. That's the idea with the website, right? That is it. That's the whole thing. The whole umbrella for a website is that the longer it's around, the longer you have it, the more it grows. It's like the movie, the 1950s movie, The Blob, right? It's just like slowly, it's slow as hell. Slow,
but it'll get you.
But the longer it goes, the bigger it grows and the more powerful it grows. The more you add to it, the more powerful it grows. It never retreats. That's the cool thing. If you're constantly doing what I teach and what Chris is telling you to do, like the value of that will never go down. It only goes up. And if you think about an investment, it's almost like an S&P investment, right? You put some money in and you're getting like, all right, I'm going to get like 5% or 8% or whatever. I need to probably need to put more money in if I want more returns, but it's going to be like a consistent, bam, it's going to keep growing. And then compounding interest hits, right? And you start ranking first page, you start ranking, and you can't even shake it anymore, right? You're just doing the normal routine project pages, posting, just doing the little habit. But now your compounding interest hits and it starts being more leads and you start becoming like the number one guy for your city. And like Mike Killian down in Florida, dude, he runs it pretty much purely off of his website. I know Alex Hammond up in South Carolina. He's like, dude, I just do footbridge. That's like all I do. So yeah, it took a while to get there. Sure. Don't stop your signs and don't stop your Facebook ads and don't stop doing that stuff. That's not what we're saying. But why would you have another partner in this game? Why would you not have this asset that is going to positively return on investment? Do you realize that $2,400 a year for Footbridge Media is what it's going to cost you? That's one sizable roof cleaning. One. Some guys can't imagine. They're like $2,400 a roof cleaning. I'm like, you're not charging enough, or you haven't hit some of these apartment complexes. Like that's like way down here. So it's very, very cheap for the return. But I think for some guys, it's so cheap in their eyes, right? They're like, well, I pay $30,000 for my rig. And it's like, well, I'm only paying $200 a month. And the first month I'm not getting 20 leads or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, of course you're not getting 20 leads the first month. It's going to take a while. Chris, how long do you think it's going to take for a guy? Give me a rough estimate if he gets started today to start seeing some results, right?
We usually generally say 3 to 6 months is a good time window. If you've had a website that looked good, that had some good performance on there before, had anything up in your domain name, that time might be shorter. If you had some stuff up on there and that wasn't so good and was spammy, then it might take longer. Generally speaking, 3 to 6 months is a pretty good time frame for us to start to see some positive results. Yeah, if you want to rank in the spring, don't sign up in March. That's not going to work. You've got to think ahead and work ahead, and you've got to be posting projects well ahead of time. Post projects in December when nobody else is posting projects in your area.
Cody knows about that. Everybody wants to buy a rig in March. It's like,
I had them all sitting here for 3 months.
It's like, why? Get started right now. Let the site be built. Let it launch sometime like late January, right? Like that's the key. So then March, you have the possibility, if you're optimizing your Google My Business, getting reviews from everyone and their cat.
Yep.
Okay. You have the possibility to kind of cut down that little window. I'm not going to say that you're going to go from 6 months to 2 months as far as getting results on a website. Remember, website's long game, but it is show enough game. Okay. It is absolutely positively ROI if you stick with the process. That's one of those things. Website is a sure bet. It's like, it's so cheap. It's such a sure bet. It's like betting on the racehorse that always wins. It's like, you know what I mean? You're just like, well, the odds aren't too bad here. I'm gonna put $5.
I wanted to, but yeah, I'll make my money back. So.
You know what I mean? So
but like that bet cost, only like 10% of what my rig costs. So.
Totally, exactly. Yeah. So let's see. Chris asked, do widgets like Company Cam that automatically add photos to project pages work with the Google juice? Now that's a few questions in one right there.
So if we're talking about like widgets that go on your website, there's, I think it would be best for you to post it organically on your website natively. I think that would be best because, Company Cam will have a single widget, and that means a single feed. If you've got that feed on multiple pages, that's one single page where you're going to be posting those images and they'll show up. If we're doing project pages, then we're making multiple individual pages to feature multiple individual projects. So I think of it more like, we're doing case studies basically for you, for the marketing world and for other, if you were all doctors, we'd be posting case studies about your results because of your diagnosis and the prognosis and your delivery. We're doing the same thing, but with pressure washing. So we're making an individual page. We're saying, look at this house in Poughkeepsie, where we did house washing using this specific service, this specific tactic. And here's a happy picture of the family. And here's a video of them saying thank you. And here's a link to their 5-star review on Google. All those things. And we do that for multiple pages. I think that has more value than a single widget that maybe is on the footer of your homepage, or a dedicated special projects page that's going to cycle in just on one page that content.
Right.
Let alone the behind the scenes of how sometimes those things load in, and how if it's an iframe, how those things are read by Google, and crawled by Google.
So yeah, if it has like a lag in the load because of the widget, then that
Yeah.
can
Oh yeah,
cost you points. You
that's a
see what I'm
whole other
saying?
problem. Some of these widgets look fancy, but they will drag down your load time and your responsiveness.
That's the damn problem. They're too
Yeah,
fancy.
yeah. It's so shiny and got so many buttons and whistles, that sometimes it drags down the site performance. So it's kind of a wash at that point. Yeah, it took an extra second to load, which Google hates.
So simple. It's like blocking and tackling, man. Like
Yeah.
it's like just natively on the page, build out the page. Let you guys do that, obviously.
And there's still value in company. I personally like Company Cam, from the stuff that I've done with it before. It's great for social media feeds and stuff like that too. So that's a great way to use it. And yeah, you could have one maybe dedicated page of our project feed that we can make for you that can have that page there, as long as it's not going to overtake your keep doing project pages too, basically, and have that way, best of both worlds.
Chris, can you share more about project pages? Is that on the site only, or can it be used to post to GBP2? Good question, Rusty.
Yeah, GPP, you can always, those posts that you can do, those social media type posts on GPP. You could share those and link directly to those as if it were a blog post. Or if you wanted to add images directly to your Google, you could do that as well. Google has made it much easier for business owners to add to their GPP. They're actually, in some instances, taking away that old school dashboard that we used to have, like that administrative backend, and now where you can only within Google search modify your listing.
They always ask me about that, and I'm like, no, I want the old dashboard.
Yeah. Oh, I hate the new thing. I hate the new thing, but I'm just crotchety and I hate change. So
that's same. I'm like, I want my dashboard. Damn it! Do not show me in search. I want to be in the app. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So
but
yeah,
even the GPB app has been, everyone, as much as everyone hates on Google, the GPB app has been helpful for some folks.
Sure. Good question, Rusty. On the website specifically to have a platform other than Google, probably like a widget or an app, or maybe your API some way into like from like a review platform. I think that would be your Birdeye, right?
Correct. Yeah, Birdeye handles that as well. Birdeye can filter through and post native only. So if you want, we can have it set up where it asks for a website review first. Instead, if that was your priority, if you have an issue with maybe your Google's down for whatever reason, or with all the issues that Aaron and I talked about before with Google reviews right now and people getting those posted. But yeah, Birdeye captures not only Google reviews, it also captures Facebook reviews and native website only reviews, and posts that to your testimonials page on your site, and puts those those widgets accordingly as well on the footer of your homepage for most folks. So yeah, that widget that we have through for the review management system for Birdeye, that'll handle posting some reviews directly on your site as well. If you had some specific issues where you want your Birdeye only to post to your website for a little while, let us know and we can modify that. We can make that happen.
So if can Birdeye like compile reviews from other places? Like say you got a Yelp listing, for God's sake. and hypothetically, say you got a Yelp listing and they call you 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And then, all right, but can Birdeye pull those reviews in like a Trustpilot kind of thing where it pulls reviews from all over the place?
I know it can't pull reviews from other locations. I'm not 100% on the full list, but yeah, I know it can pull from places outside of, further beyond Facebook and Google. It can pull reviews from other places as well. Yeah.
Sweet. What is the difference? This is a good question. I think, Dewey gets down to the heart of it, right? I'm over here talking about blogs, project pages, but Dewey asked that good old foundation question. What is the difference in an article and a blog?
I see them as kind of the same thing. So the delineation I make is here's a service page. It's a very specific page that we put out, a city page, a project page, and a blog or an article. For blogs and articles, they could both be timely. Keep in mind that that's going to sit on your blog for forever. So if you request that we put on a snow plowing blog on your page, we're going to work to try to not have that be at the top of the page in July. But yeah, I think with blogs, they're a little bit more generic. They're a little bit less pointed. That's why I was such a big fan of project posts and project pages, is because it is so specifically pointed to an area. Blogs are great at demonstrating your expertise, or or maybe helping to confirm to a homeowner that's on the fence why you are the right choice. I think that's a big part of the power there, is some of that long tail key phrase stuff. Aaron, I know you've got a couple of long tail
Damn
key
right.
phrases that you nationally rank for because of those blog posts. And that's kind of the goal, is to get some cred from those blog posts, some recognition from those posts. And again, customer validation. I don't know if I should use this company. Oh, here's 3 reasons why homeowners in Creighton use our services, and helps to sell them on that.
Like you're saying with a blog post, if I can get national credibility for something, I think in terms of how Google would think, right? If I can get national credibility, why wouldn't I be the god of local?
Right.
See what I'm saying?
In that instance, you're saying, if I have a roof cleaning page, if I rank really well for, roof cleaning mildew removal, or some long tail firm like that, and you rank well for that, Google goes, well, these guys clearly know about roof cleaning. So that translates into the rest of your website as well.
Relevance.
Helps to add value to the whole rest of your website.
And authority.
Exactly. And the nice thing is, it won't be nationally necessarily. It'll just mean those local pages will just work better because you're an authority in general and in the area now.
Absolutely. So I would be interlinking to my local pages in that national blog, that I'm trying to rank. Yeah. And here's a little tip. If you're going to write one of those blogs, never put a pitch at the end of the blog you want to rank nationally. Don't give a local pitch. Hey, if you want roof cleaning services in blah, 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 call us here. No. That's fine for like project pages and service pages and stuff like that. But we do not want to restrict our major guide of a blog to a local area, because Google will pick up on that and they're like, oh shit, these people are only in Nashville. Like, points off. So make it really open, make it very detailed, very expertise. But you don't want to give a pitch at the back end of that really detailed blog that localizes the pitch, because I'm trying to collect national traffic here. And we're giving away all the secrets today. What is the word count that you would suggest? Dewey, since I know and love you, my friend, more than you're willing to write. When you're talking about some of these, I would say the minimum personally for a blog, the minimum is 1,000 words to me. This is my take that I'm trying to rank, because you got to think, when I'm entering the fray of competition in the world of expertise on these subjects, how much are they writing on the subject? And also, who am I going up against? If I'm going up against thisoldhouse.com, or if I'm going up against Home Advisor, right, who's trying to get you guys to buy leads, they have a content team who's going to research that blog and they're going to write a good one. But their site has way more authority because they have national or worldwide traffic already. So you have to be very detailed. I'm talking about so expertise, because Home Advisor cannot be you. Home Advisor is not on the ground. They got a little intern writing this shit. She's researching it, but she's told to be detailed. Okay. But she can't be you. You know the ratio, the stuff that and Google's going to pick up on this. They're going to say, okay, this person's providing some detailed stuff. You know how they're going to pick up on that? Because people stay on the page. People do not click off of the page because you're actually giving value. Okay, this is contrary to popular belief, because why would you want to teach the customer how to do what you do? Because I want them to stay on the page. Because my customer drives a G-Wagon and has little dogs. You see, that's my ideal customer. They literally are just like swiping credit cards. They don't care. And I'm like, thanks. And we just go to work, and it's a big ticket. right? So that's what you want. You want to make sure that your blog, if you're wanting to do like a guide or something, I'm 2000 plus words minimum, just because I want to give thorough. I want to give them that stout, thorough information that's painfully detailed. It pains me to hash this out because you know it so well, but you do it subconsciously, right? And you're like, damn, what ratio do I use on that shit? Oh, well, all right, here's what it is. So word count is important, but being very detailed can show that you are the authority and the expertise on that. Chris, can you share a couple of wash web builds that have many versus few project pages to look at? I don't know if Chris can share that. You can't share that on your end.
Yeah, I've got don't have any mechanisms for sharing.
I
think technically I'm in here as your guest. So,
you are as the guest. I'll tell you a few that are ranking number one. I don't know how many project pages these guys have versus how many they don't, but I do know that it's all going to depend on your local competition. Okay. Some of you guys who live in the smaller areas of the country, you get a footbridge site and y'all are sitting at the top very, very quick. Some of the guys like me, right, who are going up against guys who've been in business for 10, 15 years, you're going to have to work on that. Yeah. They've been active on their site and you just popped up on Google, new tadpole, new little whippersnapper. Do you think Google's going to put you at the top? No, bro, you're going to get to go to work. All right. And you're going to get to do the things that I've been telling you over and over and over again. I'm giving you the formula. You just got to do it. There's been a few guys, dude, Chris, who have like actually done what I've just keep saying. And they're crushing.
Actually listen.
God dang, they're crushing. I'm like, I talked to Cody about this, talked to Mike, Justin. I'm like, do I just need to just keep saying the same shit? I can't. It's like how to block and how to tackle in football. That's what I think about this. It's fundamentals at the end of the day. So here's pressure washing, Daphne, Alabama. Let's look at it. This is a footbridge site. There's a few footbridge sites in Daphne, Alabama. Okay. Soft Washers is my brother, footbridge site. Taylor's Power Washing, which this is an ad, that's a footbridge site. He's not located in Daphne, but he's advertising for Daphne. Soft Wash Pros is a footbridge site. Soft Washers ranks number one, which is my brother, for pressure washing Daphne. Okay. Who ranks? There's Taylor's. All right, that's another footbridge site, and there's Soft Wash Pros. Now, all of these are footbridge sites. So who's going to win at the end of the day? Well, the guy who does the things that I've been telling you to do at the end of the day. Yeah, you get a footbridge site and there's 3 other sites. Well, some of those guys are going to be lazy because I know how guys are. They're going to be lazy. They're going to get it, and that's fine. Do what you want to do. But some of these guys like Pierce, he's going to continually work on the site. All right. Can you see this one? Fort Walton Beach? Or do I need to go to a different one, Chris? I'm sharing. Hey, you there?
Yeah, I was still seeing the first screenshot there.
Okay, let me do a different one here. I'm going to show them. Fort Walton Beach. This is Matt Orzelik. Matt got started. Matt's one of those guys that I said something on YouTube years ago. He was in a real tough spot. He had just lost his job, and he literally, got angry at me because I told him the truth, and then we became buddies. It's like, dude, this is what you need to hear, man. And he changed his life. I think he's doing probably 30 to 40K a month in pressure washing, which is excellent. Matt's pressure washing. That's who he is. And he is number one, Clean Emerald Coast. Now, I don't know who this is. I don't know who these people are, but I'm interested to see. Holy shit. Number 2 is a footbridge site again. Did you see that? Can you see it on your end?
Yeah.
So Impeccable is a footbridge site. We just figured that out. So number 1 and technically number 2, we can't control Angie or any of these people, but number 1 and number 2, I don't know who Impeccable is, but they're a footbridge site and they're daggum in the Google Maps here. So can you see all that?
Yep.
Excellent. I don't know. I haven't shared screen yet. So let me share you one more. Let's see. Here we go. One more. One of my favorite guys in the world, Gary Trent. This dude is he just does it. You tell him to do it, Gary does it. He crushes. All right. Pressure washing, Oklahoma City, OKC. Okie Pressure Washing is a footbridge site. Urban Cleaning Pros, which is Dominic Urban, is another footbridge site. And Okie Pressure Washing ranks #1. I don't know who Matt's pressure washing service is. This is a risk. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but let's click on it. Where is it going to take me? Well, we already know it's not a footbridge site, and that's why it took too long to load. Points off. So yeah, Okie Pressure Washing right here. So I think, those are a few examples. I can't look at some of these guys, how much project pages they have, but I would just say be consistent on your project pages, like Chris's. And Footbridge will throttle you a little bit. They're not going to post them all at one time. So they're going to drip them out. If you put 10 in today, they're not posting 10 today. They're probably going to post 2 this month. You see, is that right? Is that about the right timing?
Yeah, I think generally it's about every 2 weeks or so we're dripping them out because we're trying to establish that cadence. Like I said, right. If we, blow them all and put 10 in a day, then you're doing nothing for 20 weeks. It's much better to spread them out.
Yes. What are your thoughts on Yext listings, Chris?
So Yext is a part of our service. It's part of what we do. We don't use it for every single client. Some of Yext is great and works really, really well. If you have kind of a muddled history when it comes to your NAP, your name, address, phone number, sometimes it's better for us to manually address those things instead of relying on a system like Yext that does it in an automated way. So, I mean, we use Yext as part of our services. Again, that's included in the cost. We don't charge you extra if we put you on Yext. That's just a part of our citations process and how we make sure that your name, address, phone number look good across the whole web. Very nice.
Very nice. Vicky, I don't know what this is. What would you say about the website from Wowzer Maids? I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's a footbridge site. Awesome. Well, Chris, I want to thank you for coming on today and taking your time. I think guys have gotten a lot out of this and being able to ask questions. I think it's really helped.
Yeah, it was fun.
But if you're looking to get a website built for your contractor business, give Footbridge Media down in Pensacola, Florida, a call and mention the Lean and Mean $199 deal. You can only get it one spot, baby, and that's right here. I will see you guys in the next video.